out west, right? We'll go ahead and push play. Telegraph lines and communications out west is always a bugaboo for the South. Your telegraph communications pretty well end here in Mississippi when you start. I have been spending the last, say, month or so in game sending a little team of engineers around to build telegraph stations here, here, and then to Fort Smith here, again with the 3rd CSA engineers who were moving the last time I tried, who've now stopped and can, I believe, yes, put one right there. Bingo. Telegraph, the difference between having a telegraph communication system and not having one is literally days in terms of your ability to be agile and move quickly. If we move north from here, we will probably want to establish another telegraph station here in Batesville in northeast Arkansas. Boom! Fugitive Slave Act annulled. Army officers not to return slaves. The most hated legislation in the U.S. Uproar in the South. Today, the U.S. Congress has enacted legislation barring Union forces from returning anyone to slavery. The officers are no longer to return captured slaves to their owners in the South. Interesting. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 is part of the Compromise of 1850. Obviously, that's consider that scrapped now. It requires that all escaped slaves, upon capture, be returned to the slaver, and that all citizens and officials of the free states must cooperate. As such, it is one of the most hated pieces of legislation among Northern citizens. In the early stages of the war, the Union had no policy on people escaping from slavery, and fugitives were often returned to the slavers. General Benjamin Butler and some other generals confiscated enslaved people as contraband, refusing to surrender them back to slavery. Later, supported by Lincoln, the U.S. Congress enacted the Confiscation Act, which only applied to enslaved people used by rebel enslavers to support the Confederate cause. So, I would say if the Yanks get into the South and start taking our slave areas and workforces and such, we'll find ourselves in a little bit of trouble with our labor force. But for now, confiscation is not going to be a problem. And what that also tells us is that the Yanks are kind of, I think, following similar tracks as us. I think we might even be just a little bit ahead of them, too. But, again, this discussion about how important telegraph wires are to bring out west, and I would say after we build this one, it might further benefit us to go ahead and run a telegraph wire out here to Fort Gibson. I'm thinking that could be useful for us. Let's jump in the chat, boys. So apparently when being attacked by a fort, it can bring your encampment building points up to 30 in some cases. That and the garrison will come and fight with you. Could be useful if you want. Okay, yep. Now, the naval component I hope to make very interesting coming up soon enough, and that is with a counterattack by the James River Squadron. A question I'm going to have, by the way, will be for you guys in the chat to discuss, and it'll be about how many of those ironclads to either spread around or concentrate in one fleet. The telegraph situation out west has been discussed. Now we want to get to the campaign plan in the east as we enter the spring, okay? So we have been looking at a campaign, I think, of trying to lure the Yanks in to one big battle or maybe two big battles here in Northern Virginia, kind of somewheres. We've got them outmanned, and I believe we are now just about, I mean, we're regular with Ewell. We're regular with the Army Reserve. Magruder, I got to think, is going to just take a little bit more time to get there. My plan is to do something and maybe hoodwink the Yanks. That is going to be, and you guys tell me what you think, okay? I think I want to take the Army Northwest and I want to move and kind of feign a retreat, right? And then we're going to rail down this way, and then we're going to move all the way to Richmond. And then we're going to post them there near Richmond to defend that area. Okay, then the rest of the Army is going to pull back all the way here to Gordonsville. All right? And then what we're going to do is be ready for when the Yanks move down to essentially attack with the whole army east out of the wilderness and away, out east of Gordonsville. I think that's what I want to try to make the plan. My guess would be if they focus up here, well then fine. We'll take the army, the entire thing, and we'll run rails and we'll come over to Stanton and we'll fight up the valley. We'll be in a position to still defend Richmond. We'll be in a position to quickly enter the valley from Gordonsville. So I think what we'll do here shortly, hopefully we don't let the Yanks steal the initiative and steal a march on us, of course. I want to try to give Magruder some time to train up. I would love to keep him in camp for just a little bit longer. But I think that's what I want to go with in the east. Again, I want to lure out all of the Yankee forces that we possibly can. Get them out here in Northern Virginia where I can hit them, right? I could either hit them here or I could run the rails and hit them up the railroad. Either way, Gordonsville is a pretty good place to put the army. What we'll need to do, of course, is we're going to need to, when we make this move, change our logistics. Once we get somebody back there, we build a new depot. We go ahead and we'll end up emptying this one, burning it down, and we'll change logistical hubs. Of course, the Army of Pennsylvania here may kind of change our plan a little bit. And then the other thing I was going to try to do was detach some cavalry under Jeb Stuart and under Field here and here. And they would basically stay around these areas here and like here. And they would scout. And what that would help do is screen our movements back here. It's kind of a shell game. And see if the AI falls for it. The idea of coming up the peninsula right here to the south and taking on Fort Washington is one that has entered my mind. If I had a siege train perk, then I think I would probably actually just go ahead and go for it. But I don't. Now, I have a siege. Here's where I'm kind of in better shape. And we're still level 1 fort there at Fort Leisure. Good. Is I do have a siege train perk for Pillow in the Army of Tennessee, which continues to recover here. And by the way, okay, good. For a second there, I thought they weren't connected to that depot. But I think that's what I want to do in the east right there. I don't know how to do a poll in the chat. So go ahead, start shouting. I'm gonna let that be. That is what I have derived as a plan for the East, okay? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw that out to you guys in the saloon out there and opine all you like. There are going to be those of you who probably wish that I would maybe play a little more defense, perhaps. In this year, in this campaign season, I believe our Army straight up is toe-to-toe better than theirs. And in terms of the fighting men and the weapons that they carry right now. And I would like to face it, defeat it, and then rally and take Washington in this year coming up in the East. That's kind of what I want to do. That's what our strategy right now, I think, revolves heavily around. And again, we're going to be able to upgrade this pretty sure for free, this iron mine, and it's coming, right? We've only got about $1.5 million or so, a little bit, $1.5 million more left to go, and we are gaining industrial subsidies at a pretty good clip, $5 million. All right, the next thing was to discuss, I think, a little bit more about what we might get up to when we push McClellan away here, I expect anyway. The plan will be, so when we get to the thaw, and I think we might have to wait all the way till May or June, but that's to get up here, make the attack, siege this down, quick, and then go ahead and push on into Kentucky. Now, we'll have to build infrastructure along the way. I don't see, do they have a telegraph station down here now? They've got the fort. So I think we'd have to build another telegraph station. And by the way, on that note, telegraph stations, we just built a new one here. So now we're going to come back up this way on the railroad. right here. And with the 4th Engineers, we're going to build another telegraph station right here in Kingston when we get there. All right, we're going to go ahead with these guys. We're going to empty this depot right here. And I would say Henry McCulloch and his 19,000 men and 20 guns are going to move to Batesville or just across the river from it. And then we'll build a new depot up there. Okay, and we're going to use Fort Smith as a block down here. Forts are great as just kind of like a shield, a block over here while you hit with an army over here. If anything happens to R.E. Lee, well, I don't blame you there, Phil. Welcome in, by the way, sir. Welcome in. By the way, we got the Mason Jar and a beer. And don't forget, do please drop that like. Do please drop that like. Subscribe to the channel if you're in and you're watching tonight, if you haven't done that yet. And don't forget to hype on the mobile device. That's a huge help. Lets the algorithm see us a little bit better. We're gaining steam, folks. We need to, that's the other piece, is way out west here. We need to look at getting these raids going again. So let's go to here. Let's just get on up there. And we may build a depot, at least have some place for them to fall back to. I feel like these guys may want a depot too. If we raid this, should we raid that? No, probably should raid that. I wonder if we'll be able to get all the way there. George B. Anderson's new quest will be to take the 2nd Indian Cavalry all the way to raid up in Nebraska. See if we can get there. Because he's got so few men. Could work. We'll go ahead and put him on a raid too. Good, good. So yeah, I would say we end up attacking through the Cumberland Gap. I want to take the war into Kentucky again if I can, if for no other reason than to either threaten Louisville and gain Kentucky eventually, or just knock the Union down a few pegs in the West and keep them on their heels, right? That's kind of the idea there. I want to wait for the weather to thaw in the Shenandoah before I start moving everybody, but I'll tell you what I will do is let's grab Field. Let's make him an independent command, but here's the deal. We need to replace him with somebody else. Hawes sounds good. Let's do replace Hawes with a professional cavalryman. Oh, really? Oh, no. We don't have anybody we can replace this guy with, huh? All right, we'll have to put a political guy in. I mean, a volunteer guy. Oh, this is weird. Okay, so somehow we're not able to do all this, but Lawton is not a cavalryman. Let's replace with a professional cavalryman who is ready for duty. Anybody? Unassigned? Really? Really? Okay. So, suitable rank, unassigned. There we are. There we are. James Wheeler. Okay. Boom. Okay. Shoot. Okay, no, we didn't want to do that. So, This is what we're going to have to do. Sorry, guys. We're going to fix it. So we're going to replace Wheeler back with, you know, some dude. Porterfield, fine. Okay, then we're going to take Hawes, and we're going to replace him with Wheeler. Right? Volunteer. What is going on here? Hang on a second. Okay. Porterfield Field. Why don't we replace him? Can we replace him? Okay. With a cavalryman. There we go. Thomas Harrison. And now James Wheeler, who's a brigadier general. Fine. All right. And then we'll put Field in charge of the whole thing, right? Because he was already in charge before. So, whew. All right. So that's going to be Field's cavalry. Boom. Boom. Very good. They'll be in the orange, but that's all right. We're going to bring them out to right here. Go ahead. Take the train, boys. Defensive. Okay. Then we're going to have to do the same thing. Switch around with Jeb. All right. Independent unit, please. Okay. Stewart. Evans. Let's have Evans take over for Stewart. Volunteer under Montgomery course. Yeah, let's do it. Fine. Okay, then Evans will take over for Stewart. And then Stewart will take over for Lawton. And we'll have it all set right there. That's kind of how you have to do it. Jeb. Stewart's Cav. Boom. All right, Jeb Stewart's Cav. And we'll have them in the yellow. We'll go ahead and we'll walk them up right here. Boom. Defend. Oh, shoot. So we're going to deploy cavalry out. After we get our orders right there. Then these fellas, we're going to start screening once we can. Okay. So we'll get cavalry ready to go. Very well, very well. So General Longstreet, General Longstreet is an artillery. I think he's now a colonel. Is he with the Army Reserve? I can't. Yeah, he's with under Donaldson as a colonel of artillery. Right? Wow, look at him though. Boy, I don't know. He may deserve some kind of interesting. Let's replace him real quick. Let's go professional artilleryman. All right. And William E. Jones. Derek, let's do that. Derek. All right. And then I'm going to go, boom, Longstreet. And he's going to get all the artillery of the reserve, just like this. We'll have Donaldson to keep his 2 batteries. Hebert, I believe, is our engineer brigade. He gets to stay with the reserve. But Longstreet will now have command of all 22 of our artillery. Even though he's an infantry guy, he was with artillery. He'll stay there for now. His initiative and everything is just crazy high. Oof. Can't give him a brigadier generalship just yet, but that's where he is. Now, we look for T.J. Jackson. Let's go wounded. There he is, still out. Wounded. He must have gotten hit hard. That was the very first battle of the entire campaign, by the way. That was crazy. All right. Stewart, you're moving this way instead of that way. Okay. Let's come back over to the west, and we're going to be burning this depot down. Doesn't have anything. Well, still got some stuff. Okay. Are we connected to it anymore? Not really. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Just a slow burn tonight, boys. A little slow burn Civil War fighting. I hope this plan works for us. So, let's take a look at this, boys. I had promised that we look under the hood, okay? A little bit. All right. You can see our expenses have gone up considerably. Recruitment is taking more, I think. Army upkeep is taking quite a bit more. Navy upkeep is taking just a little bit more. Then here you go. Okay, tariff revenue is down considerably. We're at a point now where I think I might look at reducing tariff revenues. Here's the deal. What that tells me, too, is that we're not getting as much import trade, right? But here's what's important to see, I think, again, is that across the South right now, technically speaking, we are outstripping demand in almost everything, except for coffee, and I have these items. The import items that we have are coffee, gunpowder, and horses. Okay, we are importing quite a bit more gunpowder and quite a bit more horses than we are exporting. We are importing livestock, machine parts, textiles, and uniforms as well. Livestock, machine parts, textiles, and uniforms. These are all being imported now, and it looks like these being necessary items like they are, we are still outstripping demand with our own production here, and I believe we are here as well. So we don't necessarily need the foreign trade for our economy. The thing is, we need it for our government coffers, is what I would deduce about this situation. And so I think it may be time to go ahead and set about doing a couple of things. One would be in our projects, pull the trigger on another round of trade deals. Each level of this project further increases the profits from foreign trade deals, so helping out the business owners and such. So finance the nation's diplomats to negotiate more lucrative trade deals with foreign nations. The trade deals will allow better prices when importing and exporting goods, giving a boost to the nation's economy. Yeah, I think that's one way that we could help spur the economy a little bit. So I think we'll do this. Again, waiting on industry subsidies for something else. We're not going to use them just yet. And then I would say another administration reform point wouldn't be bad either. But let's go ahead and do trade deals too. All right? That resets our diplomatic money, and that's fine. Obviously, weapon production is one that I'd also love to do. But with the plan for this year being as kind of aggressive and ambitious as it is, I just have real high hopes. The Department of Pennsylvania, how long? They've been sitting here a long time. They had 25,000 men. Army of the Potomac now has 20,000, and I bet the Army of the Shenandoah is up here. I bet. Stewart's Cavalry will find out. Fields Cavalry right here. Yeah, we still have snowy roads there in the Shenandoah. Unfortunate. Living it up in the saloon, gentlemen. I hope you brought your glass. I hope maybe you've got loved ones nearby. I hope you're having a good time tonight. Swing and sway. Dance the night away if you wish. Here in the saloon at Alternate History Gaming. Yes, sir. I am Bank 60s, your humble and gracious host. Thank you for being here. All those who are new tonight, this is what we do. This is what we do, y'all. Telegraph. Right there. Bingo. Okay, we'll be connected. Get that done. All right, finish this one. Let's get over here. Army of Arkansas nearing its objective. We are really not upgrading this. That's funny. Or I mean, we're not emptying it, I mean. Shores level 2. Red, empty, yellow, medium, green, full. Use the accumulator until the set level is reached. Yeah, okay. Well, gonna have to hope that that empties. Ark, I got my glass of skim milk. That's my boy. Skim milk, same as drinking NA beer, they would say. All those who are critics of me. The old piss water in the jar. Milk. Milk was a bad choice. Let's see where we are with where are we? So we got so much cool naval stuff on the way. All right, we're getting close to 40%. I bet we're gonna have our ironclads out by June if I'm just trying to be conservative about it. So here is the other question. So I talked a little bit about this, right? Would we want to reduce tariffs right now to start encouraging more foreign trade again, and then maybe we get more stuff moving within our own economy and our sales tax goes way up, our sales tax revenue, that is. Maybe trade volume increases to make it, make reducing tariffs a wash. I'm not going to do a change, I don't think, all the way to free trade. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cap tariffs at 15%. What I'd be more comfortable doing is having a ceiling at 50 with the ability to bring them down again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole hog chop, and we're going to go 20%, and we're going to see how Europe likes that. Boom, folks. Okay, we're going to be losing a lot of money, and hopefully that doesn't hurt us. We're going to be losing a lot of money initially, and our credit rating already is going down. Okay? We're going to need to win this war this year. Sheesh. Okay, we got perks anywhere. So these fleets anywhere. No perk there, no. I can't mention brand names. Can't mention brand names. No perk here. Oh, but that reminds me, always when we reload the game, we've got to reset their patrol routes. Took a while. Took a while to get back to it tonight. Right, just like that. I wonder, so James River Squadron, we could just go ahead and put the Phoenix, the Lapwing, and say the Clifton. Go ahead and put them in there. Bonk. All right. I think we could just go ahead and put them in there. Get that rolling and ready. By the way, there was a new army that they formed over here. How are they doing now? Okay, so they're starting to field more men. All right, we can be losing the manpower battle a little bit, right? We can be losing the manpower battle a little bit. Oh my God. Okay, winter's not over up here. Shit. Let's go ahead and have these guys stop. Think we'll be all right over here. Nope. See, we're running low. Damn it. Tough to make a march like that. Way the hell out there. Let's go ahead and stop. There's just nothing to draw food from. No rations, no nothing. Right? We'd have to spend a bunch of money, I think, building supply depots out this way. I think we're best served by keeping it close to home. Have we emptied yet? Nope, not really. We kind of need to burn it down, so we're going to burn it down. And then we're going to build a new one up here. Bonk. Right there. We'll stay on this side of the river for the time being. Over here, east of the Ozark Mountains. Hey, fornicator, welcome on in, man. Welcome on in. I hope you brought your favorite drink and your favorite lassie. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the moves in the east. Let's go ahead. We're going to pull back here. Yeah, force march it. You're in the green. Very good, very good. Kind of in a stalemate here in the last several months, as you might expect in the winter months for a Civil War campaign. What's our dispatches got right now? So just McClellan. Yep. Okay. Very good. Very good. The crazy thing about Jackson being wounded like he was is that he is now a low talent guy. I mean, like, he's lost all of his panache. Check it out. 1 star and going down everywhere. T.J. Jackson, non-factor in this little alternate history playthrough, gentlemen. Go freaking figure that one. Go freaking figure. Johnson's going to move quick. He's good on the force march. Okay, he moves to Stanton. We'll start there. Then he moves to Charlottesville. Hops trains. Boom. Okay. We'll start there. Get a little movement. Oh, I hear this song. It makes me feel so patriotic. Yeah, the weapons production. That's what we have. Gotta really, for the future, for the war industry, for the Confederacy, we rely on this here iron mine. By God, can we please just get it? 4.1 million. It goes from 4.6 to 4.1. Got that new depot being built there. Good. Fantastic. Telegraph builders. Okay, these boys, we need to come back to Fort Gibson. That is a failed endeavor. George B. Anderson, it may be time to replace him as commander out there, but he just took that command. Never mind. Oh, really hoping that we've got an operation to take D.C. this year, baby. Late summer, early fall is what I'm thinking. is how we're going to get there, or when we're going to get there. I think that's the best expectation that you could have. Let's finish building this telegraph line. Priest. So we did look at that tariffs situation. We brought them down. You can see, okay, we are way lower, but our expenses have gone way down. Strangely enough, that's got to do with us destroying a supply depot, I think. How are we doing on recruits, by the way? Still got 26,000 volunteer recruits, gentlemen. That's plenty to get us into mid-1862 with replacements and things. And oh, that reminds me, another little admin detail. You got to get in. You got to do these little things, gentlemen. You got to make sure your armies are set right. I want to make sure that we're medium priority for replacements on all the units that are sharing state troops with the Army in the East. So what I would say is that these guys could probably be high priority for Tennessee, but then another one has to be medium priority, right? So let's make this one high priority, and let's make this one low priority. Or medium. Heath from Alabama, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. So Mississippi. Let's do one Mississippi high priority. We got a Tennessee medium, Mississippi medium, Alabama. Let's go high priority with Smith. Yeah, I like that anyway. Hindman and his Georgians get to be a high priority for sure. The Texans under Imboden. Yes, sir. These guys have to go medium. Okay, Barton now. Let's go medium with him. As a matter of fact, we might go low with Gladden there. Tolliver from Alabama. Let's go low with him because he's got so many troops right now. Okay, the Texans right here will go medium. That's Forney's brigade, the Texas Bushwhackers. Here's Patrick Claiborne. Somebody was asking about him earlier, the Tennesseans. I'm afraid he's got 2,200 men, so he'll be low replacement priority for the time being. Keep all these boys, I think, on medium. Kentucky. All the Kentuckians can be green. All the Kentuckians in this army can be green. Oh, the Virginians? No way. We got to have them be low. Maury, Tennessee, low. So we can't get this cavalry too mauled up right there. That would be bad. Everybody else. Ooh, Arizona Territory. Yeah, let's keep that. That's fine. Yep. Okay. Yep. Texas, medium. Maryland. Let's go low. Let's go. We got to go medium. We kind of got to go medium on everything else, I think. Right? Yeah, let's go. Well, let's go high for that battery at least. Louisiana, high. Yep. We could use some more Louisiana troops in this army, I feel like. Bingo. The Eastern armies are high for everything. I made this new Department of Nashville, or Department of the Cumberland, rather. We'll have these boys be low priority. They're new. They're brand stinking new. And then somebody else was mentioning this too. I'm interested to try this. Give these, can we do it? Can we give Lorenz's? No, we cannot. I thought we might be able to give Lorenz's to cavalry, but we cannot. Okay, we have to have those carbine weapons. And I think that there's actually dual purpose carbines that you can get later on. AGI Civil War, absolutely. Yes, sir. I find that this is kind of the... this is the next best thing to AGI Civil War and Civil War II, and that it kind of gives you the grand campaign strategic piece as well as the tactical battle piece. That's what it has over AGI Civil War, of course. But AGI's one, I played that for years. I even did a little play-by-email campaign with a buddy that we posted on some old discussion threads for that game. Had a blast doing that. Almost done with that telegraph station. Good. And we'll probably rejoin that brigade there with the Army. We're going to get in the yellow with Pillow right here. He's going to be ready to attack pretty soon. That double B minus staring me right in the face, man. Sheesh. Oh, so yeah, I think, General, I'm seeing what you're saying there. I think you're right. I think that as far as it works in-game, I think that you do Mexico intervention. What it does is it unlocks more French weapons, and I think it makes them even cheaper to get. So what we could do is, no matter how it goes, and I think it also does a number on your Europe. So let me show you a couple things about Mexico intervention. Okay. This brings me to a point that I was going to get to anyway. I teased it when we got into the stream tonight. So it's good that you bring that one up. Fornicator has been the biggest advocate, kind of along with me, to this idea of running down the diplomacy tree on the right side here and getting all the way to Mexico intervention. Okay, what this will do, you get European relations plus 15. Okay, the number of recruits in Texas is going to go down big time because of this, right? That's because we're going to get troops kind of involved from that direction. The Union national morale will go up. We get further French arms imports available to us. So we will get a new selection, I think, or a cheaper selection of French weapons. So we'll get that no matter what. And so I think we've gone with Austrian rifles. We could then turn around and instead of worrying too awful much about production, although we will go to industrialization after we get this, unless our hand is forced and we have to go for government funding and war bonds, which is likely what I'll end up doing next as far as government funding goes. And after we get this, I think what I'll want to do, hopefully, is do a little switcheroo, get some subsidy funding sliders switched around so that we can bring diplomacy funding up to something more like $20 million a year, and then come back around and get ourselves some cheap French weapons, however much cheaper they might be. That's kind of what, and look, it'd be $3.5 million. We'd be able to get them in no time. Obviously, the blockade isn't hurting us that much. We're now lowering tariffs, and so I think we'll be able to get them more cheaply. Oh, that reminds me. We need to go back, and I think we've got... No? Oh, okay. No. We got a new order in of all this stuff, right? No! Here we go. Lorenz rifles. We can order more of those, right? So let's go. Oh, wow. Look at the cost. That's fantastic. It's $16 million instead of $21 million now. Okay, let's get 20,000 or 10,000 more for $6.5 million. Lorenz rifles. Let's go. Okay, bring them in. Bring them in. We'll be armed fairly well here. Got these Union armies that continue to move west, northwest. Indian Cav is here. We will begin raiding up to here, like we had done. Beefalla. Want to try to go places where you'll still be able to get supplies in, forage and provisions from the nearby towns. And I think I'm going to try to get these guys maybe even all over into Illinois. We'll see. Pillow, yeah. Well, there are those who hate Pillow. Here's the deal. Gideon has been a great general for us here in game. Believe it or not. Very first battle in Kentucky, Albert Sidney Johnson managed to get snookered by McClellan and lost his command, from a role-playing perspective, to Mr. Gideon Pillow. And Gideon Pillow has done nothing but win, 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 no matter what, for the Confederacy in our campaign here. So let me tell you, Gideon Pillow is a guy we're going to have to live with as followers of this war, whether we like it or not, because he's just so damn good in the campaign. He's a lieutenant general now. He'll outrank everybody for a good long time. Going to be tough to yank him because his fame is through the roof, right? So, boom. He is a legend. He is a legend. This political appointee, although he was a Mexican War veteran, and he has a lot of fame. That's Gideon Pillow in our game. All right, we're ready to begin screening. We're ready to begin screening. We're going to empty out this depot. We are going to pull back to Gordonsville with everybody. We won't take the trains or anything like that. We'll just march. And then the Army of Virginia will meet them. Just march. Probably take them a little while to actually make this march. Hopefully we don't get too bogged down. Hopefully they think that we're on the retreat. The Army of the Northwest is going to go ahead and march to right here. Boom. And of course, hopefully we don't get a random winter storm, which it looks like we might. Weather's coming, boys. Weather's coming, boys. Let's go ahead and get these armies on the move. We got a campaign to win. Come on, armies in the east. Magruder's wing's going to get there first. No doubt about it. But we do have pontoons with Army of Virginia headquarters, so they're going to be able to get right on across that river, no problem. Let's go. Okay, no, we've reached the spot where we're a little stuck. I bet you Ewell's wing will run into the same issue. Let's bring the Cav right there. Force it. Okay, I want them to come into Virginia, baby. Army of the Northwest may find itself in a little bit of trouble with the weather on its march. Joe Johnson. But they may just beat it. The weather may pass just to the north, which would be a blessing for sure. Uh-huh. Pillow in this game is who he thought he was in real life. Indeed. So let's take Forrest Cavalry again. He's under Albert Sidney Johnson. I did this lazily, thinking that I would want to keep... So let's do this. Let's have a cavalryman. Jeffrey Forrest. Absolutely. Okay? Boom. Then, can we get Nathan Bedford back? Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, we can't yet. But we've got Jeffrey Forrest. All right. Let's come up into Kentucky again. And scout. Yep. All right. Making our move in the east. Okay, we need the Army's readiness to be in the green if we even hope to carry a campaign into Kentucky, gentlemen. That's just the way life is for us here. Department of the Ohio is still not growing. It's still about 15,000 men. Speaking of which, okay, 171,000. We're at 182,000. We still outman them. How about them apples? Bringing a bunch of guys back from furlough. And by the way, I don't know this. Somebody jump into the chat. Somebody who knows the system behind the game a little bit better than me. If you furlough troops like we did, they're all back now, by the way. But if you furlough troops like we did all across the map, we furloughed them from there. We furloughed them from the Army of Tennessee. Some of them may still be. Yeah, this artillery battery still is. I think part of what they do, if the state support is still really high, like it is all across the South, they'll go back to their home state. And I think they will encourage people to join the recruitment pool as well as bring recruits back to their brigade. I think. I don't know that. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed on the last VOD, we did get the devs actually comment saying, good work, sir. Hey, by the way, gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate you making the game, giving me the chance to do what I love on here. So maybe in the VOD, we get the devs jump in, talk a little bit more about how when you furlough troops, if that helps add to the actual recruitment pool, because I think that maybe it does. Third, nearing its location to build another telegraph station here. This one should be done. Here. Yep. Okay, so this brigade under Coleman is going to transfer itself back. That's Trapier's brigade. Yep. Transfer back into the Army of Tennessee, bud. And we'll put him with Hardy. Right? Let's go ahead and get back there and stack that right. Always bugs me when it's not stacked right. Got that and that. Okay. We'll have the Army. So I imagine that the fighting may commence over here. I imagine. Oh, shit. Winter storm here indeed. Late winter storm. Slowing us down. Shoot. The devs, Arc, the devs chimed in the comments section of my last, the VOD of my last stream. They said, good work, sir. And so I say to them, thank you. Thank you. Humbled. Humbled and privileged. Humbled and privileged. It was a comment from Grand Tactician Official, if I remember that right. If I recall correctly. I always want to try to light one of these up in here, but dog would hate it. Speaking of her, we might have to bring Hazel up for a visit. Oh my God, this weather is absolutely atrocious, guys. Oh snap. We're gonna have to try to keep moving though. I tell you what. Let's go ahead. Let's let them march forward today. And we'll stop them at Chancellorsville. We're going to have to stop due to bad weather. This happened all the time. Gotcha. You got some motion, baby. As another famous streamer would say. We got some motion here, baby. Nah, I'm just a new guy. I'm just a new guy. I'm just a new guy doing new guy things, man. Ready, halt. In just a moment. Bam. Good. They'll get that order quick. Johnson down here. He's going to get into the yellow. Okay, let's bring the supply depot back to green. Oh, shit. Okay, Jeb is going to change course here. Stop. We're going to jump on trains. We're going to head back to Newmarket there. Let's bring Fields Cavalry on trains back to there. Well, they ain't going to be coming now, that's for sure. In Virginia. All right. What do we got? Still the same things. Suppress population, industry stuff, right? Yep. Not seeing any movement with the Yanks. Not sure. Okay. All right, I see it. Josh Street, I see that comment there. I'll call you out on that. That's helpful. Okay, so that's a no on furloughing troops and having that have an impact on the broader recruitment pool. So it does not. Good to know. Okay, Jeb, take trains back to here, bro. Oh my gosh, late winter storm. The snow march for the Army of Northwest back to Richmond. It's going to be a bit of a struggle for Joe Johnson and his boys. Unfortunate. Can't call in the Army of the Northwest for much longer, I wager. Here we go. Back at it. Good deal. Let's go ahead and let's raid to this farm here. Go. You can turn this one up. I always like this one. A lively time! Yes, sir. It is a saloon after all. Go ahead. Grab your favorites for a dance once more, gentlemen. A new telegraph station. Oh, are they not done moving yet? They're not done moving yet, or something. Excellent. So we'll cross to Batesville now. Force march it. Henry and his boys. I think we may have a battle in Missouri before long. I'd love to come up and hit them. With this crap weather, I'd say we're pretty well stuck where we are right now. And this plan is being thrown into chaos. Ark asks about the new game being multiplayer. My answer is I don't know. I don't expect that it will be upon release. That is something that, of course, we've all been howling to have included in the game in one way or another. And my guess would be I'm not sure how they could do a multiplayer lobby for a campaign game. I feel like the only way that they could do it is for the battle layer, my guess anyway. That would satisfy most folks, pretty sure. But yeah, I'm not sure how they'd pull that off. Funding 2 policy enacted by the union. Oh, okay. New legislation effective further improving of the war economy. The government's agreed on new means to fund the war. War bonds can be issued. Okay, so what they're doing is they're getting more subsidy money going for this. By the way, yeah, okay, so they started work on that last month. And then improved credit rating. Oh, wow, are they already in some trouble? Yeah, look at that. So they're coming down to the double B range. Wow, gentlemen. Interesting. Intel's got, what do we got? 11 and 11, so about 22,000 troops. So it'd be a stand-up fight right here. Very good. We'll have to see what we get there. Meantime, keep that Navy right where it is. Checking perks. Yes, sir. Oh, that's right. Let's get back into this group. And let's replace Johnson with Jeb. Where is Jeb, damn it? Cavalryman. There he is. Rather, Forrest. Yes. Forrest and his brother? I think so. Excellent. Excellent. Do they still have a perk? Yes, they do. We will make them bushwhackers. Non-uniform cavalry skirmishing, efficient platoon rating, support hit plus 10. Ooh, yeah. Let's do Bureau of Military Intelligence with the cavalry unit here, with Forest Cavalry. Why not? I think that'd be an interesting thing. Tell some stories about that. Joe Johnson's still on the move. He's going to be down in the orange by the time he finishes. Yeesh. Okay, Jeb's cavalry. He's just going to have to stay put, stay in defensive. Yep. Okay, we're going to put our 2 wings of the army back in offensive posture. Here. Here. I want them to attack anything that they come across. And we're going to march them back to Gordonsville soon enough. This cav here is going to cover the depot as long as it can. Again, really hoping the Yanks get aggressive when the weather finally turns, damn it. Yeah, they're going to start fielding quite a few more troops, I suspect. But if they've got, I mean, if it's one-on-one, right now we've got more men fielded than them. So, and this is, by the way, the other thing, is European relations being way over like this. I think that tells me that we're not likely to get the French in on our side. But again, I think we've got a good chance to get their good weapons. But it would be really cool if we could work toward getting the French in on our side. Maybe get them in right as the Union is losing the war after we've taken Washington once. That would be super cool. Super duper cool. Let's take these boys. They would have to build another depot. Say march to here and build another depot. We'll force that march. And as a matter of fact, when they get outside of it here, let's stop them. Small depot. They're still moving northwest there. Ready, halt. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. We're going to then build another depot right there. Okay, this one will get emptied. And we're going to build, if we can, a new telegraph station right there. Right. See if we can build another new telegraph station over here yet. It doesn't look like it. Strange how that works in some places and doesn't work others. I'm really not quite sure exactly. I think maybe we need to be close to a populated area potentially. Anybody want to jump into the chat and let me know about that? Be cool. That'd be cool. All right, here we go. Our Bureau of Military Intelligence informs us of the Army of the Ohio, still around Bowling Green at 13,000 men. The Army of the Mississippi, still around 12,000 men. Wow. So they've got 25,000, 15,000, so maybe 40,000 men. I've got that many in this one army. Pillow, I think, is going to have a field day in Kentucky coming up here. These Yankees did not think, I don't believe, that I was going to be able to keep up with their manpower push. The AI Yanks. I think that that's something to go over to, is even on the mediocre setting, the AI will tend in this game, in the Grand Campaign setting anyway, to rush down the manpower tree as quick as it can. Militia Act 1, 2, and 3, which is exactly what the AI did in this game. We kind of had to keep up with them and kind of take things from there. And this is the way that the campaign is played out. I think it creates some really interesting campaigns here as we go forward. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, but you look at all of the different things. So crops, we're outstripping demand everywhere. Crops and cotton, not yet. But fish, okay, even flour, which we weren't before at the beginning of the game. Food, outstripping demand. Forage by a ton. Gold, importantly, outstripping demand. Gunpowder, even if we aren't able to bring any in, we're outstripping demand. Horses, same thing. We're exporting a ton of those, I bet. I don't know how we're importing so many. We're importing some, I guess. Part of the market. Oh, well. Now we're back to producing more iron, right? Iron ore, we are not. That's why I want to get that one mine upgraded. This is really interesting. Locomotives. Boom. Obviously needing to import a bunch of those. I still love that we're making machine parts and outstripping demand there. I mean, we're outstripping demand just about everywhere right now. Salt. We are an exporter of salt. Check this out. So, Saltworks, since the beginning of the game, I had no idea that we would be this good on salt. We're actually exporting it now. But we have all of these saltworks that are operating at maximum efficiency, and we have one that's a level 2 there in Charleston, Virginia, in West Virginia. Boy, that makes that more attractive of a target, that's for sure. Right there. Here we go. We just need to move south a tad. Force it. And that's, by the way, that does cut into, that's something I think to highlight, is the Yankees trade warfare balance, right? They're doing $934 million against us, thanks mostly to blockading, almost entirely to blockading, right? Their only blockades are in Virginia and South Carolina right now. So that right there, $934 million cost to the economy because of the blockade, tells you how important it will be for us to break that blockade with those ironclads once we can get them. But you can see there through raids, I am inflicting pain, and then through repairs, I'm inflicting a little bit of pain as far as trade warfare goes. Economy, we have gone down considerably. That score is derived from a number of different things. Let's take a look at that. Their weapons technology is a little better. Corporate profits, domestic trade, foreign trade. Okay, their private income kills our private income. And their credit is better than ours right now. Right? That's why I feel like we've got to try to win something quick. We got to try to win it this year, or we may be in real dire straits. All right, we've got the thaw over here. Let's bring everybody back to Gordonsville on a forced march. Ewell's wing. Come on. Fields cavalry. Come on back, guard the depot. Johnson stays on the defensive outside Richmond. Right? And then we'll see if we can lure the Yanks in. If they won't do it, I'll sit here and I'll train some more. No problem. And then we'll take the whole army and we'll come strike north at them, and we'll see if we can take D.C. like we want to. Gotta wait for these guys to get in the green if we have any hope. Carrying this campaign in Kentucky. You know how that is, boys. Yeah, more locomotives would not be a bad thing. That's going to require more of what? I think it's foundries. Or ironworks, or factories? What makes locomotives? I thought like foundries or brick or ironworks did, but no. What builds locomotives? Factories? No. Mines, market, lumber's mill, hospital. No. Port makes trade ships and fish. Right? What makes locomotives, I wonder? I actually don't know that. All the hours I've put into this one. I don't even know that. These boys stay on a screen command. Right there, scouting. Very well, very well. All right, let's see if the Yanks will take the bait. We're coming up on time. Oh, we got a new intel report to watch. Okay, they're going for Revenue Act. We probably should follow suit. 90 men in one brigade, that'd be an artillery unit, and 3 new ships. Their morale has improved just a bit more. And they are now defending their land. Would you look at that, gentlemen? Well, we've got them on the back foot, don't we? We could look at offensive operations. I think if our intel tells us that, we may have to change what we're planning to do here. We may have to make a change. We may have to let Johnson stay here, change the name of his command. We may have to take the rest of all these troops and do an early invasion, guys. We may have to do this thing. Come back down around here, up the valley with the whole army, the whole thing. Pop out near Frederick. Come for D.C. Freaking do it. We've got the manpower. I think we've got the leadership advantage. Oof. This is looking pretty good. It is, though, time for the old Banyo break campaign. But as we wrap up the Union campaign, there will be more of that sort of dramatized presentation. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that Great Scots did cover that. He's basically covered everything on. But that is kind of like that's a deep back end system kind of thing. It's like the economy. As long as you've got steel, as long as you've got machine parts, as long as you've got the things that you need, yeah, cranks out locomotives. That makes sense to me. I believe that. And it does that with other things. It's almost like, you know, how, for instance, this iron mine is something you can't build any iron. You can't build any mines. All you can do is build salt works, right? All those mines are like, they're there, they produce for you, they're world assets. They're not player assets. Yeah, they're just waiting to see what I'm going to do. So, okay, we've got 2 rounds, it looks like. 1. Oh, just 1, okay. And then maybe 2 rounds of bad weather coming. Hate to wait even more, but we're in a spot where I want this thing to come off without a hitch. I would say we can go ahead. Let's get Ewell on out to the valley, taking the train. Let's just do it. We're going to leave Fields' cavalry and pick up Jeb Stuart's cav. Oh, they got their training manuals, same as us. I didn't see that before. Okay, so, yeah, it's time that we act aggressively. We need to take the initiative here tonight. And I think we need to attack. We need to get up into Maryland. We need to threaten D.C. We need to go. Probably going to have to just try to dodge the weather, is what I would say. And then at the moment we can, we need to go. We need to hit McClellan here, knock him back, get into Kentucky, take care of these 2 armies. Probably need to go. Maybe we can get ourselves to St. Louis. That'd be something else. Okay. 10-4 about locomotives. There goes Ewell. So 1 by 1, we'll take troops over by train. So as you can see here, we're over the limit. It's going to take a long time for them to get that move done, but quicker than it would be on you just using their legs. Next, we'll take Beauregard in the headquarters. This is his plan, by the way. Joe Johnson will be left to defend near Richmond. This is a bold plan by Beauregard and the Army of Virginia to try to strike a killing blow for the Confederacy. See, they're still at 78 national morale. We dropped them by 20. That'll go a long way to winning the Democrats in the midterms. Yes, aggressive banks activated. Let's go, boys. Can you feel it? Can you feel that victory coming? I sure can. Can you feel it? Got another rainstorm coming. Let's let them get there. And then let's let Ewell run up here and join with Jeb. Matter of fact, Jeb, why don't you come on forward here and keep screening, my man? Yes, up. He'll take the trains, I guess. Magruder, we'll leave him behind. We'll take Army of Virginia headquarters. Make sure these guys finish up. Gonna take a second. Would you look at them, man? Okay. Army of Mississippi came down, knocked Forrest's cavalry back. Fine. Fine. Beeper man, I think we are going to get into a fight tonight. I think we are. I think it's going to be here. Let's go ahead and go. Pillow on the advance. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if we'll actually get into a fight or not. Let's go. Boom. On the march. Pillow. We'll go ahead and get an offensive. We won't do any scouting or anything. We'll just go, go, go. We'll probably get in a siege battle to start there, and likely end up assaulting. Here we go. The army makes its move by train. Boom. Ewell's wing will move to here. Slowly but surely we make this whole thing happen. Field's cavalry. Could we join Johnson's command eventually? Probably, yeah. They could probably pull back to there. The beautiful thing, I think, will be that, no, the mountains are in our way. I was thinking we might still be connected to this depot, but no. Probably want to build a depot at Newmarket. When Ewell gets there. Here they come. We're moving to here. See if we can stay out of range. All right. Got this depot done. Very well. That'll allow McCulloch and the Army to move into Missouri to right about there. And let's go ahead and have them on offensive posture if I don't already. And we'll send the cavalry out screening. Yes, sir. We got Gentlemen's Saloon. Want to see a fight tonight? I do not blame you. We didn't see one last stream. I do not blame you one bit. Okay, let's send the army up there with Ewell. We'll have Magruder's wing into the valley by train as directed. And the first invasion will get underway in due course. They may see me here. Let's scout. just so that we can screen, just in case. Goes Pillow. Making his way, slowly but surely. He's a little slow, to be honest with you, on the march. That terrain's not real friendly, though. Admittedly. Yeah, we can stay on this side of the river with Forrest. Or we could go raiding with Forrest. Why don't we do that? Can we cross? Here at Evansville, you damn right we can. Except we got weather. Gonna have to wait for the weather to pass. Gosh dang it. Still waiting. All right, we made it up here. Good, good, good. More raids, more raids, more raids. And the crappy weather. That's just fine with me. We're a little low on provisions and things. We've got a perk. Hey. Let's go bushwhackers. For sure. First Indian Cav, you better believe. Second Indian Cav. We're going to follow over this way. Force march that, boys. Yeah, I got to hope old Jeb doesn't get us in trouble over here. He's been known to do a thing like that. Got Magruder's wing on the trains. Good. Fantastic. Let's get a battle, gentlemen. Let's get a battle. Okay, boys, Army of Tennessee is going to approach Fort Leisure. We're going to take it back, by God. After that January offensive by McClellan and his troops in Kentucky, these Yankees don't know what they're in for now, boys. We got this siege train working. Bingo. $32,000 men. The rest of these boys will be there in a couple hours. Okay, now they're there. Now it's... Oh, I think Griffin is the battery commander here. Let's get rid of that. We've got our siege train perk that's working for us. Siege firepower plus 25%. But let's make the assault, shall we? Pillow is he is in no mood to wait. He is in no mood to wait around on this one, gentlemen. We've got 15,000 Yankees to destroy. So, in we go. Here we go. Here we go. Pillow and his boys get another chance to whoop the Yankees, okay? We'll take a look at our intel right here. We'll see what we got. We got time to fight a battle tonight. I think we've got time to fight a battle tonight. I do. Should be fun. Glad we got into one. This was part of the plan. We got to push, baby. We got to push. Oh, yeah. Enemy generals can die in battle. They can be wounded. Here we go. George B. McClellan with 16,000 men and 10 guns. They are green. They are determined, so not eager particularly. Okay. Oh, boy. Would you look at this map, though? Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. They've got the Cumberland Gap right there. What? No way, man. That's cool. The Battle of Fort Leisure. Indeed. Fort Leisure, depending on how you want. Okay. Oh, wow. This is cool. Well, you can bet that they're going to be deployed around here. You can bet that. You might not be right. But Pillow and his army will be making the advance through the rough terrain. Holy snikes. Okay, let's just lay some troops out right here. Let's just lay them out. Buckner, Ruggles division. This army had quite a story indeed. Okay, Robertson's cavalry, right? Yes. So we probably want to have them out like so. Let's have Hayes put his scouts out. Can we do that with anybody else? I don't think so. Yes, we can do it with Morgan. Fantastic. All right. So Robertson's cavalry will be first in the column. Zollicoffer will be next in the column. All right. Buckner Sr. is going to be ready to go. Johnson is also going to be ready to go right here. That's Bushrod. The Rod, now a division commander. Ruggles, now a division commander. Love the story of this army, guys. And then you've got Hardee, kind of new into division command here, but I think it was kind of like a mistake that I put him in division command, but there it is. Now we have Pegram's Cav that can be kind of a rear guard. And Maury's Cav, kind of the same thing. They'll be looking over the the artillery here along the road. Limber up, gentlemen. We have Pillow's army making its march through the mountain pass straight at the fortified Yankee positions. And I believe that they will have some breastworks up already. I think the AI will have been given the ability to build some of them. And I think we'll just set the army up like that. It'll just be on a march, marching column forward. We'll come up the road. We have no other way. Look at this. We have no other way to come at it except through here and across this little crossing right here. So we'll need to use artillery platform here. Okay. We're going to need to, I think, go ahead and deploy infantry off to this area here. And we could flank them by crossing a creek here. It's just like very unrealistic, I would say, that that would really ever happen. This road is like they would have a map maybe that shows that this thins to a creek, but it would take them so long to figure that out. And then to try to, I mean, you're talking about trying to send guys through a thick, heavily wooded and forested, hilly terrain to go find some crossing. And like, well, good luck. You'll be on the flank. There'll be a road over there too. We'll wear guys out trying to march them all the way the hell over there. So we may indeed have ourselves a bit of a challenge here, gentlemen. We may have a bit of a challenge here, trying to come through and take this position. We've got two crossings to work with. This ford and this ford here. This is going to be big for artillery. We've got two places for artillery here and here. I think what we'll probably try to do is just get infantry skirmishers set up on this side of this river and try to fire across the river at whatever troops they've got glommed up. So what we'll do is we'll try to use infantry fire from this area here and artillery fire from here and here and more infantry fire maybe out this way and across the stream from over here. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to clear them out from here and around the objective, and then we'll push a division across, take that area, and then start just driving them. I think they'll probably start pulling back this way. So then we'll just set about just driving up the hill and getting rid of them. It's a pretty cut and dry type of deal here, I think, for the most part. Are we ready? And we'll be going into evening time. So we're going to have to try to move forward with as much of these boys as far forward as possible. Let's see what we get. Push the plate. Okay, Robertson's cavalry is going to go first for sure. And we're just going to bring them all the way around to like here. Except no. No. See, this is something, right? We want to make sure that they're going to stay on the road the whole time. So we're going to do that. Then Zollicoffer is going to do this. Buckner Sr. We're just going to get, nope, see, nope. We want to make sure they stay on the road. Would you look at that? McClellan and his men, they're not even interested in fighting it. They're not even interested in fighting it. Thought we were going to have ourselves a battle right there. Oh, I guess not. We're going to have to push him back all the way to Ohio River. You got that? All right. Okie dokie. A Confederate minor victory. Yes. No casualties. No surprise that the Yanks pulled out. I'm not surprised by that. They were outmanned. Big time. Outmanned and outgunned. McClellan now is going to be on the back foot here. Confederate armies in 1862 on the advance. There we go. We'll take the fort back, capturing the troops who were garrisoned there. Or won't we? Oh, I guess we won't. Great. Okay. So let's cross into Kentucky. If we can. Yep, scared him. Scared him. Oh, gosh. Didn't expect to scare him so bad. Ewell. Depot. Let's build it. Ooh. Not a lot of space for other stuff, but let's build it right there. All right, this one's going to empty out. It was being upgraded, but we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to upgrade this one. Look at this. Engineers and mechanics, I think, having that takes the speed of construction plus the impressment. Speed of construction goes way, way high. I think Magruder will hop skip. Hopefully they don't hoodwink us before we hoodwink them. Hopefully they uncover DC. That'd be just fine with me. Okay, got to push the play button, buddy. Okay, so we're back in the same situation again, it looks like. We're going to have to wait for this thing to wind down one way or... Yeah, look at this. We just go right back to status quo right here. What? Okay. Fine. 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 May not be able to enter Kentucky. So I should have maybe waited longer anyway, done the smart thing. The game forces you to do the smart thing a lot of the time, gentlemen, and not the fun thing. Yeah, I don't know how much morale they actually lost there. I fear not much. All right, Ransom Jr., he's still in the green here. let's go after these farms. Go. We lost track of everybody there. We need to pull back to about right there with the Army of Arkansas so they can still pull off of that depot. I am worried about a McClellan-style peninsula thing where they come down through here. I am worried about it a little bit. Actually, we should probably go ahead and keep this stocked a little bit here for Johnson and Field more than anything else. Still in the green with everybody. Very good. By the way, did Magruder catch up and become regular? He did. Here we go. Mexican intervention escalates. The British and Spanish withdraw. Napoleon III vows to conquer Mexico. The French push inland. The European intervention into Mexico is turning into an invasion. Reports indicate that the British and Spanish forces in Mexico are already withdrawing after realizing the French are not there to only collect payments of debt, but to conquer the whole country. The British fleet under Commodore Hugh Dunlop has moved in to extract the small force of British troops, and Spanish General Juan Prim's force of some 7,000 men is also moving to embark. What remains is the French Expeditionary Corps under General de Laurentiis, which is preparing to move inland to capture Mexico City. The French ambition to conquer Mexico would also open a line of supply to the Confederacy. It is said that Emperor Napoleon III wishes to open a trade route to Texas in order to control the European cotton trade. In other support for Confederacy remains questionable, but if the French plan succeeds, we could see a French-controlled Mexico as a neighbor to the Confederacy within months. Indeed, we've already been laying the groundwork for relations with the French, and we've got 6 days left until we go for it, guys. Eek! Eek! All right, now, we've been focused heavily on military moves. Are we there yet? Nope. Not quite. 3.2, we got a ways to go. So that's going to accrue slowly. More slowly than I'd like. But good. You can cut telegraph lines, yes. When we were raiding up here a while back, we go to here, you can burn that down and destroy it. Like, we'll be able to raid into St. Louis and probably cut these telegraph lines right here, burn down this depot. By the way, recovery below average and increasing the wealth of our population. So yeah. Yeah, tax revenues went down because our tariffs went down. That makes sense. But there we go. Export volume is above import volume still. Down 8 million in corporate production. Damn it. So, yeah, holy smokes. We're barely making any money at all. We just can't sustain tariffs, really. So we're going to have to probably, instead of industrialization, in correspondence with this plan, this aggressive plan to hold the Yankees at our will and take D.C., drop their national morale too low, we're going to stick with it. We're just going to keep doing what we got to do to fight the war, right? To win the war. The whole industrialization thing is kind of what we're fighting against. I think the thing that we might do is build another railroad. It's just that we don't have the money to do that yet. So we got to get government funding squared away. Okay, they're following us. Yeah, building damage, keep going. Just don't want to get caught by those fellas. Okay, we reconnected there. Good. Let's burn this down. And we'll leapfrog and build a new depot. We'll build a new one right there. That looks good. This we should win pretty soon. I hope we stay in the yellow there. That'll be key. Sorry for the blue balls in the battle. The battle blue balls, gentlemen. It's unfortunate, truly. All right. Get up close to Newmarket there with Magruder's wing. Let's get Jeb back to work scouting. Ooh, that might have been a mistake. They might have caught us there and seen us on the move. We'll see. They might already know where we are anyway. Projects are all the same. We do have military money we can use now, though. Cast artillery. That was going to be our next one, right? Crude agents, rebore muskets. Yeah, right. We were going to do cast artillery next so that we could start doing James rifles. Boom. No, not artillery. Cast artillery. Boom. Let's do it. Okay. And immediately, without spending too awful much money, we're going to get in here. Oh, we got to let a day go by, actually. How many ships do they have in these blockades, man? Yeah, plenty of folks in the saloon going to continue to make an argument for industrialization. There's no problem with that. But part of the way I set this whole narrative up for this thing is that the Southern powers were not interested so much in industrializing. At least not as much as them Yankees have been doing. So let's go ahead. Let's get the second Indian Cav over here. Let's start clipping communications over this way. What's this? Huh. That must just be a random swamp terrain. Yep, force march, go. So they'll be able to fall back to a depot that's up here. You know, go, raid, come back, raid, come back, raid, come back. These guys, on the other hand, I think they've completely burned down that series of farms. Let's come into St. Louis and let's burn it all down, boys. Okay, raid, raid, raid. Good deal. The raiding out west continues in earnest. Boom. Here we go. Let's get right. Okay, we can order more of these 3-inchers. Okay, standardization's at 3, but it'll still take us 60 days to make 8 of them. Okay, to make 16, oh, that's not bad. Let's make another 32 of those. And then I got to say, the 14-pound James rifle. Let's look at this bad boy right here. Right? Very good accuracy at 1,500 yards. Weight 920. Right? That's over 100 pounds heavier than our 3-inchers. 3.8-inch cast bronze rifle. First type 1s are converted. 6-pounder smoothbore. First types are converted and 6-pound smoothbores, while types 2 are new models, accurate, but the bronze rifling quickly wears out. Okay. Okay. We can make the 12-pound Napoleons now, though. Right? 1,600 yards. What does it say about them? See, their accuracy is mediocre. So those are infantry killers, is what I would say. And then the James rifles are counter-battery weapons. Let's do 64 pieces of that, of Napoleons. Boom. Let's do... 16 pieces of James rifle for 600K for starters. And we'll have that going in our armory. Yeah, the last time I tried just pushing straight across these bridges right here, it did something funky and kicked me out and sent my army retreating all the way back to Richmond. I never really did quite figure out exactly what was going on there. I think maybe it ran up against an opponent that was camped in Richmond that it didn't want to fight. I thought that at that time I had core other wings of the army in supporting distance, but I guess not enough. Okay, Jeb, come on up to Harper's Ferry, my man. This thing's got to be winding down, man. Pillow will win that. Take back Fort Leisure. Leisure. What's this? Lead? Ooh, let's take those out. Okay, the raid in St. Louis is underway, gentlemen. Yes, sir. We're going to go ahead and do some serious damage here. The first Indian Cav under Robert Ransom, boy, oh boy, he's a major general too. I won't be able to promote him too much. Too bad. But that's fun. We're not going to take St. Louis there, right? We don't have the ability to do that. We just are going to be raiding there. But that works for me. Let's go ahead. We'll send him. I think we may send him across and into Illinois, and we may just start raiding all this stuff too, boys. Woo! Yee! Excuse me there. Okay, here we go. Yes, just as I was thinking. They have two armies. The Army Northeastern Virginia, Army Shenandoah, Army Potomac. This is exactly what I want. Fantastic. I want to march up with the army, and I want to smash into them right here. I want to have a big old battle right there. Drive them away. Have enough readiness to then march from here into D.C. We're doing this thing, boys. We're doing this. We're going to gather everybody here, and we're going to all go at the same time. We're going to go. Oh, perk. Who did I miss a perk for? These boys? No. No. Somebody might have seen that perk in the siege and thought that there was another perk. That's probably what happened. We just have to wait for this depot to get built. We want to have a depot to fall back on right here. And then I'd say Magruder get busy building a telegraph station right up here if we can. Right there. Try to keep communications solid moving up through there. Logistics, baby, logistics. Building damaged. I think this thing's now toast. Excellent. Let's go. Okay, let's cross to Cairo. We'll burn down some telegraph wire there. Burning St. Louis, baby. The deadly Confederate raid into St. Louis. Let's build that depot and then we'll take this one out. Let's empty this one. Pretty soon, probably be able to take the Army of the West with R.H. Anderson and get moving. I would call this not so much of a march and more of a raid. The way that I framed this, by the way, and this was all part of the plan, was our separate little armies, the Indian Cav, would be made up of all Indians and Cubans, but mostly Indians. And the mission that they were all too happy to undertake in recompense and payback for the Trail of Tears was to raid. And we're going to have a long summer season of raiding ahead of us, I do believe. And it's going to help our trade warfare. Let's take a look at that and see what it is now. Yeah, it's 211 where it was 209 before, I think. So, that works. That works good. That works real good. Raid. We're burning St. Louis. Nothing them Yanks are going to be able to do, boys. All right, depot's in. Let's go green with it. Good. All right, we're going to bring Ewell north to Magruder on a forced march. And the Army of Virginia with him. Boom, let's go. Get that telegraph station done, and then we'll be ready to move. We'll be doing it on the march, so we'll force march it too. We'll probably do a coordinated, everybody moves on the same day kind of a thing. And then we're just going to head straight up through here, and we're going to hit them. We're going to hit them, boys. Oh, Army of the West perk. Okay, got it. Hey, fantastic. Let's do... These bureaus of military intelligence seem to work pretty well. Let's do that. Bingo. Since it's out here on its own. Here we go. We're in Cairo. Going to be raiding the ferry stop and the telegraph station with the port 2. Fantastic, gentlemen. Fantastic indeed. Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. I think we burned them all down, boys. I think we burned them all down. Coal mines. Let's go get this stuff next. Make our way through St. Louis. Burn it down! Okay, so we got some weather coming to slow us down anyway. All right. Okay. I know we're not there yet. I just want to check progress on them. Come on, baby. Slowly but surely. I feel like we're not going to get there until middle of 1862. I feel like that's about what it's going to be. These boys still... Oh, they've got a perk now. You better believe. Engineers and mechanics. Here we go, gentlemen. It is Diplomacy Act, Diplomacy 4. More Confederate diplomats to Europe. New trade deals. Absolutely. Weapons. And then finally, it is time. Bingo. Let's do it. And then let's go. Can we do it yet? No. So administrative reform. We need another 400,000. Let's real quick. Let's take our political subsidies up. Let's peg them. Just quick. Oh my God, I feel it in my pants. An early Great Chicago Fire. Yeah, I like that idea. Here we go. Now that we've gotten these guys across the major rivers and over here, like, Yankees going to have a problem. Yankees going to have a problem on their hands, and I'm allowed to just raid all summer long. All through here. That'd be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Not for them. April showers will bring May flowers. How are we looking? Let's just check up on the fleets. All right, nearing halfway. For the ironclads. Got to get them in action, man. Got to get them in action. So, now that we have those 3-inch ordnance rifles, by the way, we have 11 of them. Let's go ahead. Let's hand them out. Ooh, we got 10-pound Parrott rifles. Let's do them. And some 3-inch ordnance rifles right here. Boom. Under Manigault. And then let's go to Ewell's wing. And so he doesn't have nearly as much artillery, does he? He's kind of the light wing. 2 guns, 4 guns, 5 guns, and 4 guns. So we could do 3-inch ordnance rifles here. We got Napoleons. We could do Napoleons there. We could do a new battery for you. Well, it's too late. We got to send him with what he's got. 15 guns. That's not much. I'm thinking we take... I'm thinking we go to the transfer screen here. We're going to go to Army of Virginia. We're going to take McCown's 24-pound howitzers. And we're going to send them over to Ewell as a reserve battery. We're going to also send Pelham's 24-pounders over. And Longstreet will be a little pissed because he's losing some of his artillery division guns, but he'll have to live with it. And all will be well. Should be winning this one soon. Love it. Love the way this is going, gentlemen. Build that depot. We'll get the Army of Arkansas on the move up here. We could capture this depot. Look at this, gentlemen. We could take St. Louis. Could we do it? We've got a whole campaign season to work with here. Could we surge forward and take Louisville? I mean, we could take St. Louis. The problem is we have to boot all of the Union forces out of Missouri. That's the other thing. So I think what we could do is we could run up, take St. Louis first, and then go after the rest of the Union forces. Could we have an early end to the Confederate campaign? That is the question. That is the question, gentlemen. I do believe we might have the chance to move this needle all the way over to, over to here, using these next, this next month or so. We're going to get to this soon. We're going to get to it soon. Should have used Ewell's troops to build this telegraph station. Because Ewell's got the engineers, mechanics. Yeah, parrots are, Wilson, you got that, man. Parrots are probably, especially like your 20 and 30 pound variety, man, those things can fire a long way and they can fire at what you're shooting at. They can hit what you're shooting at, I should say. It all leads to this. It all culminates with this. Okay, telegraph station burned down. Let's go get the next one. Double tap. We're still getting forage like we need because of the railroad, I'm pretty sure. Okay, these guys are going to begin starving. But we will head to here. The Illinois raid, boys. The Illinois raid. The St. Louis and Illinois raid. Look at they're having to repair here. Not sure if they're having to use subsidy money to do that with. There we go. Okay, let's let that be that. We are now regulars. All right, let's go with this army. Let's go here. Let's take it on north. Okay, we'll be able to build another telegraph station up here after we get there. Raiding continues out west. Yes! Oh, okay. Somebody got recovered, huh? Colonel Garnett. Not Jackson. How is Jackson still... That is crazy, man. That is just crazy. Come on, come on, come on. We're getting to the crucial point. We started this move in early April. Yeah, they're not moving. You can see that. Not sure. They may try to land somewhere along the coast. Tough to say. All right, let's burn these all down. Good. Good, good, good. Keep it coming. Keep it. Springfield, Illinois. You're going to get some too, boys. You're going to get some too, boys. Yes, Wadey is still in service. He is... right there. Bingo. He's Colonel. Tandy Walker. Philippig. All doing a good job over here. And by the way, we could go replacement medium for all these guys. Pretty much. Or were they all from the Indian Territory? No, we can keep them at high. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Wonk. It's dad joke of the week from Helica right there. Jackson needed a head amputation. The recovery is not going well. Yeah, I'd say that about explains it. Oh, that's funny. Okay, we got our telegraph station right here. Now, very well. Magruder's wing is going to be in the lead. Okay, and we are heading straight up here, but we're doing it on April the 19th. All right, with Magruder, and then we're going to do it. Boom. Same. Okay, boom. And then we're going to go like this. April the 19th. Go. I really didn't want Magruder to go by train. But I guess that's what he's going to do. All right, let's make sure everybody's going. Fields cover, Force cover, Magruder's wing, Ewell's wing, Army of Virginia. Where is it? Okay, they're all going. Magruder's going to take the railroad. I'm going to order him to stop when he gets about there and then reissue the order. Halt. And then we'll reissue the order for him to just march up there after these guys have passed him by, or about the time that they've gotten up there to him, I would say. He'll have gone ahead. Let's go. These guys will probably be able to march all the way up to here in this day. We'll see. Do we have any weather coming? None coming this way. All right, Magruder. Let's go. Not by train. Boom. We'll make the march. We'll head on up. See if we can't get ourselves into the major battle that we've been seeking, like Napoleon would. Here we go. Okay. Knew that they would probably try to pull something like this. Abandon this right now. Fields cavalry. Defensive. Yep. Okay, everybody's going to camp. Looks to me like they'll take the Department of Pennsylvania and try me outside Richmond, most likely. Field's got a perk. Let's go. Land torpedoes. Let's do that. Get these guys moving again. Raiding up near Springfield. I think we took everything out that we would have wanted to over here. Let's go. Let's go. Excellent. Took out that telegraph station. Let's go. Up to here. Next. Newspapers all across the north are going absolutely wild. They are going absolutely bonkers. All right, here they come. Okay, figured they might try this. All right, we've got two sides kind of going for each other's capitals right here. All right, Field's cavalry, if we can get away with it, I'd like to just transfer it into the Army of Northwest. Boom. All right. And do that. Okay. Then they'll come bolster the strength of the army right here. They'll take Catherine Furnace. That's not exactly good. Again, still seeking this large battle up here so that we can go take D.C. And then our all-in strategy will include the construction of a fort right there. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Very interesting situation we have here, gentlemen. Okay, now they've got me beaten man-fielded again. Not by a ton, but by enough. As the raiding continues. This is too much fun raiding out here. Holy smokes. Oh, boy. I would say we go ahead and go on an offensive posture right here. I don't think that they're going to be able to use the railroad, but I don't know. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody is on the attack, right? Yes. Yes and no. Offensive, offensive, offensive. Get there, get there, get there. Good. There's the Army of the Chesapeake coming. I don't know how many they've got, but those troops that formed up that way. 15,000 and then 20,000 there maybe. Okay. Yep, here they come. Does Johnson have a perk? No. Speed up construction. He does not. We're going to have to try to cross the Potomac while they don't have to cross much of anything. If he gets too far away, I might attack with Johnson, which is, unheard of. Here's what I would say. It's overnight. We can pause. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take Magruder, and we're just going to... I want to run straight into these bastards, and I want it to be a force march. Let's go. Ewell. You two. Go. And the Army of Virginia headquarters, you three. Force march that sucker. Go. Let's run. Want to try to hit them before they get to us down by our capital. See if we can make it happen. And I would say we take Jeb's Cav, and we're going to transfer them into the Army of Virginia. Boom. Make that transfer done. Stewart is deleted. Then the Army of Virginia, we replace Evans with Jeb. Right? Get that done. We have Stewart back with the Army in a day, 2 days. Unfortunately, the Army of Virginia is going to be the first to cross. Magruder will be behind him by a good bit. Ewell will be behind both the others. Oh my gosh, they're going to be routed. Really? Oh. Off they go. Yep, they're trying me. Let's attack the moment that I can. Rather, no. Defend. Let them go. Let them go. Beautiful. We'll be able to defend against 15,000 troops. No problem. Their armies are going to run. Oh, baby. Okay, so the Army of the Chesapeake, which continued on down under Abner Doubleday. Johnson's troops are regulars now? No, they're not. They're poor. Well, we got to hope that we can beat out the Army of the Chesapeake right here. We've got the manpower, cavalry, and artillery advantage. I fully expect a victory on this field, gentlemen. I really do. Here in 1862, you have the Union advancing on Richmond with Abner Doubleday and their new Army of the Chesapeake. We'll be playing this one for sure. Let's go. Let's go. Get your dand up, boys. Except that your boy's going to have to wake up early tomorrow and get to work. So you can rest assured, a promise from me that we've got a battle to start the next stream. I'm going to tell you that right up front, boys. I'm going to tell you that right up front. We got a battle to start the next stream. I hate to leave you on a cliffhanger. I really do. I really hate to leave you with that, okay? But we got a battle to start in the very next stream. We're going to have a whole bunch of fun with that. I loved hanging out with you guys, even doing most of the campaign stuff tonight, guys. I appreciate every one of you staying tuned like you have been. Don't forget, of course, to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you've been new into the stream tonight, seeing me for the very first time. We're growing subscribers every single day. Don't forget this as well. check the description. I write a lot of lore around every one of these streams, and I include a link to become a member for as little as $2 or $5 per month. Those we are adding every week as well. We've got almost 40 of them now. So thank you guys if you do that ahead of time. Become a member. It's a whole bunch of fun, man. Let all the other groggy nuts in the saloon tell you about that. Again, I'm Bank 60s, your humble and gracious player host right here at Alternate History Gaming, and I will see you guys